Scope of delivery for the Lokal 400 is the Lokal 400 central unit. The measuring box is red, measuring box is blue with the sensors, the headphones, the AC power adapter, the charging distribution box, the USB data exchange cable, and the carrying case. Additional equipment to use the Geophone function with the Lokal 400 is the ground microphone with tripod here and the test rod with extensions and another case for these equipments. This is the Lokal 400 central unit. It has a large color display here. It has a dial on the right hand side that you can use for selecting menu items, and you can also press it to select a menu item. Then you have the on-off key here, a cancel key here, and a start key here. Also, there are two LED indicator lights that show if a measuring box is connected. On the right hand side, you have the charging port here. You have the connection port for Geophone equipment here, for the Geophone mode, to connect a ground microphone or the test rod. On the other side, you have here the data exchange port for USB cable, and here is the headphone jack for the headphones. To switch on the Lokal 400 correlator, you short press this button. This is the start screen, and now we are in the main menu. To cycle through the different items, you can either use the dial to select the desired item and then press on the dial. Alternatively, you can use your fingertip for selecting an item. In the main menu, you have 4 items. The first item is correlation mode. The second item is Geophone mode. And then you have 2 smaller items. This one is settings, and this one is data exchange mode to connect to a PC. To switch off the device, you long press this button. To go into settings, you select this menu item, and here you have again several setting items that you can select. The first item, you can change date and time. By selecting one cell, you can change the cell and then select another cell to change it again. To exit this menu, you press this item. The next menu item is language selection. Here you can change the language to one of the pre-selected ones. And now the device operates in your desired language. Next item shows when this device will shut off automatically after it has not been used. So here is now 20 minutes, so it will turn off automatically after 20 minutes of idle. And you can reduce that, for example, to 10 minutes to conserve battery. The next item, you can change the brightness of your screen between a value of 0 and 100. We recommend to leave it at this value here. This item lets you select the frequency ranges for the Geophone mode. So here you have the high pass filter, this is the low pass filter, and this is the maximum frequency that is shown. So here you can select a value of up to 4000, and it will show a wider frequency range. This item is for hearing protection, and you can select a level from 0 to 3. 0 means no hearing protection and 3 means maximum hearing protection. This will determine when the device will mute the headphones automatically to protect your ears from very loud noises. So 3 means very sensitive. It will shut off the earphones very quickly with loud noises, and 0 means it will not shut down the headphones at all. There's a touchscreen menu. Here you can select to use the touchscreen or not use the touchscreen. So you can turn off the optional touch input. This can be helpful when it is raining, for example. And you can also calibrate the touchscreen here with the lower items. This item will reset the device to factory settings. It will clear all memory data on this item here, and it will reset the parameters on the lower item. Here we can select the inputs for the correlation. So the standard is 1 red and 1 blue measuring box, but we can also select a third measuring box, a yellow one, and then we can cycle through the measuring boxes that we want to correlate with. We can also connect a geophone to the device and correlate between a measuring box and a geophone, or between a measuring box and a test rod. This item lets you select the frequency range for the correlation, similar to the one we had before for the geophone. So here you can choose a maximum frequency of 5000 Hertz to be shown in this screen, between 500 and 5000. It also lets you select the standard high and the standard low pass. Here you can select your units of measurement, either metric or imperial. This gives you information about the firmware version that is installed. And this feature is very important. This is we call it trans auto. Here you again can select between a level of 0 and 3. 0 means it will not use the trans auto function at all, and 3 means the trans auto function is very sensitive. Trans auto means it will stop the correlation when loud ambient noises are present, for example, a car passing by. And last but not least, the exit key to leave this menu. This is the correlation item. If you select this, it will lead you to another menu where you have, again, 4 options. One is automatic correlation. This one is manual correlation. This one is to load previous saved correlations, and the exit item. To do a manual correlation, you have to select this item, and then it will prompt you another screen where you have to input your pipe characteristics. So here you can see there's measuring box A and measuring box B, and between the 2 boxes there's your pipe, and you have to input the pipe materials and the lengths. So you select this lower box to get into this, and here you can select between a selection of different materials. For example, I will use PE hard. And now I have selected my first pipe section. I can choose the length, let's say 30 meters. Next, I select the diameter, let's say DN200. And now the speed of sound inside this medium is automatically calculated for me. So I don't have to do anything here in the last column. I can change this manually if I want to. If I want to add another section of pipe, I just scroll further and select a second material, let's say steel. And here we have a very hard material with a high velocity, and you can see the speed of sound is much faster. It selected automatically the same diameter for me, but I want to change the length to, let's say, 50 meters. Now I have two pipe sections, PE and steel. PE is 30 meters and steel is 50 meters. So the overall length of my pipe between A and B must be 80 meters. As soon as you've selected all your pipe sections and materials, in this case we are finished here, we have two sections, we navigate to the play button here and can start the correlation by pressing it. Since we selected automatic correlation, all other settings are automatically chosen by the correlator itself, and we don't have to do anything. We will just lean back and wait for the correlation to finish. It will do 50 measurements, and after that it will stop automatically and show the result. But you can already see live how it progresses. Down here you can see the number of measurements it has already taken. So we're almost through yet. Now it has taken 50 measurements and is averaging all the results between the measurements. Here in the main screen you have several items. Here you can restart, on the top item you can restart the correlation. Here you can choose your input measurement boxes. Here you can choose which box you want to listen to on your headphones if they are connected. You can choose to mute box B, mute, or box A. In the next item you can choose how loud you want to have your headphones. Here you can choose if you want to save a correlation to the device storage. This is the exit key. Here you have the amplification of the blue measurement box. In this screen you have the coherence. This box shows the amplification of the red measurement box. Here you can select the correlation peaks and choose between amplification and peak selection on these lower items. And up here you can go back to your pipe selection menu. For manual correlation, you choose the right item and you will again be prompted for the pipe characteristic selection. So here, same as in the auto mode, you have to choose your materials, the length, the diameter, and the velocity is automatically calculated. Let's put in another one. Let's use ductile cast as a second material with 50-meter length. DN200 is fine. And you can see here it has the pipe sections illustrated above. Now, if we want to go into the next step, we have to click this arrow up here. And we are prompted with the filter selection menu. This, in a manual mode, we have to select the filters manually, and we can listen in this menu, we can listen into the noise that is sent by the measuring boxes. So if we want to listen in, we have to hit the headphone button icon here, and now we will hear the noise from measurement box A, and can mute it again by this button. Listen to point B and mute it again. If we want to refresh the frequency distribution, we hit the refresh button and see now a refreshed frequency curve. If we want to change the high pass filter, we select this here and change the frequency to a desired one, and this will then be the filter that is selected for the correlation. Let's leave it like that, and we go to the next screen. The next screen is the main correlation screen, but here we now have to manually set the amplifications for the both channels. To select the right channel, the blue one, we have to go to this item, click it, and then select an appropriate amplification for the blue box. We have to do the same for the red box, so we go to the red box here, select it, and do the same thing. We select the desired amplification. Here we have the option to use an auto function. If we long press this button, it will beep 3 times and then select an automatic amplification for us. We can select this amplification by pressing the dial. Now we have set all the manual options. We have set the filters, we have set the amplifications for the boxes, and when we are ready to start a correlation, we can navigate here and click the start button. Now the correlator starts correlating and taking the measurements. You see down here the number of measurements it has already taken, and other than in the auto mode, it will not stop with 50 measurements. It will continue with measurements until we stop. So it will continue measuring and refining the result. The more samples it has, the more accurate the result will be. As soon as we are happy with the number of measurements, we press stop, and the final correlation result that is averaging all the measurements is shown in the main screen. With this menu item, we choose the Geophone mode of the Lokal 400 correlator. In the main Geophone window, we have here in the middle, we can see the noise level, which is at the moment 0 because we're not taking a measurement. Below there, we have the high pass and the low pass filters. So here's 50 Hertz high pass, 400 Hertz low pass. On the left hand side, we have the measurement history. So each time we take a new measurement, it will be pushed into the history, and we have up to 6 previous measurements that are shown here. Below we have the frequency distribution of the measurement, and also the low pass and high pass filters. On left hand side we have the headphone volume we can adjust here, and on the right hand side we have the sensitivity of the measurement adjustment. This upper item brings us back to the previous screen. In this item we can select the different modes. So we are now in ground microphone mode. We can switch to test rod mode, and we can switch to manual mode. These modes are preset filters and frequency ranges. I will leave it as in the Geophone, in the ground microphone mode, because that's what I have connected to the device right now. This item lets us switch between standard mode and smart mode. In standard mode, we only have one level, this is the noise level, and in smart mode we have 2 different levels. One is the noise level and the other one is a smart level that not only considers the volume of the noise but also the frequency, and it will consider higher frequency noises with a more important factor, and will show them in the smart level, will give them a higher priority and show them as a higher level. Otherwise the screen will be similar. We also have the history with the standard regular level, noise level, and the smart level. We'll toggle back to the standard mode. The menu item below is for saving measurements to the internal memory of the device, and this one is for reading out previously saved memories from the readings from the memory and display them here and on the display. Once we want to start a measurement and have adjusted all the settings to our liking, we can either press the dedicated measurement button here on the ground microphone. This will start a measurement. Or alternatively, we can start a measurement by pressing the start button here and hold it until we want to stop the measurement, and then we release the button again. And you can see here the current measurement is displayed here in the main level, and a previous measurement is shown in the history. If we take a third measurement, it will do the same thing. It will push the previous measurement through in the historical values and show the latest measurement here. If we want to adjust the frequencies and the filters, we click in the bottom here, and then we can select either and can change the high pass and the low pass to our liking. What we can also do, we can listen in to the noise by clicking on the headphone button. Once we are finished, we click outside and it will be saved. And now we have the new filter selections here. If we want to connect to a PC and read out previously saved readings and correlations, we navigate to the PC mode and click on the PC mode. When we are in this window, the device is ready to exchange data with a PC. During this time, of course, we need to connect to a computer via this USB cable that we can connect here. And as soon as we are finished transmitting the data to the PC, which is all triggered from the PC program. We just leave it here in this mode to have the device ready to exchange the data. Everything else is done on the PC software side. And as soon as we are finished, we go back, click on this button, and we are back in the main menu where we can either start a correlation or a geophone reading.